Hi everyone, how are you guys doing? Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys surviving COVID? I mean, that is the fundamental question that everybody's asking. Me personally, I have been, I would say, locked in or self-isolating for about 3 weeks. So this Thursday will legitimately make 3 weeks since I was like, I could see things were going south, and before it became a pandemic officially, I was like, I'm gonna lock myself up in my house. So I've been in my house for 3 weeks. Um, and I've always considered myself an introverted extrovert. And so what I am really good with is I'm social when I need to be or want to be. So yeah, I'm always out on the road. People will think, oh, you're always doing stuff. You're always socializing. You're with friends. You're here, you're there, you're everywhere. And yes, for the most part, I am. A lot of it is driven through my businesses because you just need to be out for people to know who you are. And my friends and other stuff. But I genuinely love to be by myself. I like quiet time. I like to be alone. I have no problem going to the mall by myself. I have no problem going to a club, traveling, solo traveling, love that and all that good stuff. But can I be really honest? I am really missing the human interaction. I'm really missing the social aspect of life. And I never thought I would ever say that, but I really am missing it. So I hope everybody's doing okay, both mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, because it's all of those things that start to eventually take a toll on you, right? Anywho, I didn't come on to talk about that. What I came on to talk about was future credit vouchers. So it seems like people understand how to do the cancellations now. So I'm not getting a lot of questions on that, which is great. And I have been showing you in my Insta stories how easy it is to interact with these online tools that the airlines have available. So please continue to use them. Do not call. Just because I'm, behind the scenes and I get information that might not be privy to the public. Some of the tour operators have disabled their call center lines, so they're just not taking those calls, and they're pushing everybody to online tools. So please use them. I just got an email today this morning at 2 something in the morning. So that just goes to show these people are working around the clock. But I got an email. It was from somebody, so from a human, saying that they had canceled a trip. So I was supposed to be traveling. Well, I was supposed to be in Mexico right now and then coming back and traveling to Atlanta on April 2nd. So you see how they're working, right? Like they're taking care of the immediate as they pop up. So this morning on April 2nd, when I would have been leaving, they sent me an email saying that they've canceled my flight and they've given me a future credit voucher, future travel credit voucher. So that's what I want to talk about now. So now that you have that, you've been successful, you've been able to cancel your booking. The next question you have, and you've been asking me, is how do you use these future travel credit vouchers? So they work very much like gift cards do. Okay, so if you go to a store and I can't think of one right off the top because I don't know all the return policies, but let's say you go to a store and the store says to you, we don't give you a refund, we're going to give you a credit voucher. So they will take back your purchase. So let's use $50. Let's say your purchase was $50. They'll take back that item and they'll put it on one of their gift cards and they'll give it to you, right? The thing with gift cards though is most of them don't expire. However, with these credit vouchers, they do. So you want to, number one, know and understand when your voucher is going to be expiring, right? Because you don't want to call in after the fact. They won't take care of it after the fact. So make sure you note and document, especially if you have a lot of travel book like I do. I have literally a app in my phone where I am documenting all of my COVID related travel. The cancellations that I did, I'm documenting the booking number, the amount, and when that credit voucher expires, so I don't run into any issues in the future. So they're going to give you this gift card. It's going to have $50 on it, right? At some point in time in the future, you're going to come back into that store and you're probably going to make a purchase. So when you go to make a purchase, let's say that purchase is more than what you have on the gift card. So let's say you come back, you pick up an item that's $75, then you will give them the gift card, they'll take the $50 off of it, and you obviously have to pay the difference. That's exactly how these credit vouchers are going to work, okay? So if you decide in the future to book a trip and that trip costs more than what your voucher is available for, then you will have to pay the difference. So that's one thing I want to be really clear. I think some people are feeling that, you know, if I booked a flight and I paid $500 for the flight and I receive a refund and they give me this future travel credit voucher for $500. If I try to book that flight next year, I should be, what I've been hearing is people feel that they should be paying the $500 that they had paid originally for the flight. That is not how it's working. Okay, you are going to pay the rate at the time that you are ready to book, because we all know that travel is based on supply and demand. So there's no set price. You can go on this morning, and I've had it happen to me. I've gone on this morning, I've taken a look at a flight, I've quoted my client, they hesitated, I went back in later on in the afternoon when they were ready to book, and the flight went up 5 times the price. So that's just how travel is. It's all based on supply and demand. So if things are selling, chances are they're going to be higher. If inventory is not selling and not moving, chances are it's going to be a little bit cheaper. So these credit vouchers give you the value that's on them for use in the future. You do have to use that with the airline that you booked with originally. So you can't take a credit, and I know it sounds obvious, but these are the questions that I get. So you can't take a credit voucher from Air Canada and then, you know, all of a sudden in 6 months, Sunwing has this amazing, you know, sale and you want to use it to book a trip on Sunwing. That's not going to work. So you've got to stay within the airline or within the tour operator, within the supplier that you have the credit voucher for. Now, let's say you go and you decide that you are ready to book your travel and the credit voucher, the travel is actually cheaper or less than the credit voucher, right? So in the case of the store, you go to the store and you find something that's $25 and you have $50 on your card. So that's great. You can obviously purchase the item because you have enough. But then the question is, what happens to the balance? And so this is where you have to be really careful. And you've got to read the information carefully when you get those future credit vouchers. In most cases, they're obviously not going to refund the difference. So if you book a flight and your flight costs $500 and your credit voucher was for $1,000, they're not going to give you back $500 in cash. Okay, they're most likely not going to do that. In most cases, it'll probably just sit down on the future credit voucher. So the difference would sit there, but at some point in time, it'll expire, right? So you have to really understand these vouchers, understand the timing, how long they're valid for. That is absolutely important and critical. Because if you do end up having a balance left on your credit voucher and you want to take it up for future travel, then you want to make sure that you are taking it up within the time frame that you can. Okay? So if not, it'll sit down on that voucher, and I don't believe those balances are transferable. So if you don't use them up, at the end of the day, you're going to lose it, right? And, you know, sometimes that's what they hedge their bets on, is that, number one, people will not remember these travel vouchers, or they will not use the full amount. So be smart, guys. You're not going to get your money back. So take a look at these credit vouchers, and if you can, definitely book and use up the full value of it on a future trip so that you get your money, you know, you feel like you've actually gotten your money back, as opposed to losing it. So that's how those credit vouchers work. I think that's about it on that topic. I am still digging into the insurance piece. Again, it's something that you have to be really careful about, and I want to make sure I'm providing accurate information. So keep your questions coming. If I have enough people asking the same question, then I'll do a video. If it's just one-off questions, then I usually just answer them. I respond back to you guys. But yeah, so keep them coming. And again, you know, do everything you can to keep your mind going, keep yourself occupied, do some spring cleaning. The sun's coming out now, so it seems like the weather's going to start to improve, which could be a plus or a minus, because obviously it's going to drive people crazy because they're going to want to go out. But guys, we need to flatten this curve. If we just all hunker down, stay inside, and then we come over the apex and come down, at least we will return to some sort of normal. It will never ever be what it was. And I've come to terms with that. But I think it's going to be better, 10 times better. And they say, you know what, millionaires and millionaires are made in tough times. So start looking at ways to capitalize on what's happening around you, and look at it as the glass half full. So, you know, our earth is kind of returning to the state that it was many, many years ago. And that's a refreshing thing to see, you know, so there are some ups. There's obviously going to be a lot of downs, but, you know, just think of it as a positive versus a negative. Anyways, have a great day, guys. Bye.